Our third and final method for solving quadratic equations that we're going to look at is the use of the quadratic formula. Much like with factoring, when using the quadratic formula, you have to set it equal to 0. So you want it in the form ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And then those a, b's, and c's are going to come into play in the formula. To solve this equation for x, we're going to use the formula that x is negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Let's look at an example of how to apply this. If I have 3z squared minus 6z equals negative 2z minus 3, I first need to get it in this form so everything's on one side. Rearranging and moving my 2z over and my 3, I end up with 3z squared minus 4z plus 3 equals 0. And now I have my a, my b, and my c. Using my formula, z is going to equal negative b, which will become a positive 4, since a negative 4 will become positive, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which will be 4 squared or 16, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is also 3, all over 2 times 3, which is 6. As I simplify, I get 4 plus or minus 16 minus 4 times 3 gives me negative 20 over 6. If you remember from our video on complex numbers, the first thing I do when I see a negative under that square root is I'm going to pull out an I. And then when I factor that 20, I get z equals 4 plus or minus 2i square roots of 5 all over 6. Notice that all of those first pieces are divisible by 2, and I end up with 2 plus or minus I square roots of 5 over 3.